Sky Sports have reported Matisse Tell would ideally like to stay at Tottenham. Spurs would be relegated without set pieces. James Maddison speaking to Sky Sports on the impact of Roberto De Zerbi. Pape Matar and João Palhinha have been nominated for the Premier League's Creative Moment of the Month award, and Italian journalist and transfer expert Fabrizio Romano update on Andy Robertson. Here are your daily Tottenham news headlines. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel and to this episode of the Daily Tottenham News Headlines, where I'll be going through all the latest Spurs news, rumours and reports. My name is Leader Dorset Spur, and if you're watching on YouTube, please like, share and subscribe to the channel. If you're listening to this on an audio platform, please hit that follow button and leave a review if you can. So let's get into it. So, starting off, Sky Sports have reported that Matisse Tell would ideally like to stay at Tottenham, after overcoming a difficult season to play a decisive role under Roberto De Zerbi in helping secure their Premier League survival. The 21-year-old's priority is to be in a stable environment moving forwards where he feels the trust and confidence of the club. In 18 months at Spurs, Tell has worked under 4 different head coaches, whilst the club have suffered consecutive 17th place finishes. Tell has faced unique challenges at Spurs this season. He was overlooked for the initial Champions League squad by Thomas Frank, then brought back in December to replace Dominic Solanke, only to be removed again in January when the striker was fit. The uncertainty around his place in the team created significant speculation about his future and an intense winter for Tell amid strong interest from clubs in Europe. Tell has played his best football at Spurs under De Zerbi. He's earned the Italians' trust, and with his performances off the pit bench at Wolves in late April, he won the corner at Molineux, which led to João Palhinha's goal and Spurs' first league win of 2026, chasing down what had appeared to be a lost cause with the time running out. It proved a turning point for both club and player. The Frenchman started the remaining 4 games on the left, contributing a goal and an assist that proved crucial in Spurs avoiding relegation. Tell's goal in the 1-1 draw with Leeds was overshadowed at the time because he gave away the penalty for the equaliser. However, De Zerbi supported Tell after his horror and continued to select him for the most important games of the season. It has been a long season for Tell, which began with him being subjected to racial abuse on social media after missing a penalty in Spurs Super Cup final shootout defeat to PSG, an incident understood to have deeply affected him emotionally. The 21-year-old has been through a lot this season and feels he is approaching a crucial stage in his career where he needs the right conditions to progress. He hopes that will be at Spurs under De Zerbi. Sky Sports News have stated that Spurs would be relegated without set pieces. Tottenham would have been relegated had it not been for the impact of the set piece goals. Spurs scored 19 goals and conceded 12 from set pieces last season, putting them 7th in that form table alone. Take away those 19 goals though, and they would have had 5 less points, which would have seen them finish 19th. Coach Andreas Georgsson, brought in by Thomas Frank last summer, is in charge of set pieces at Spurs. He is one of only 3 coaching staff that lasted the whole season under Thomas Frank, Igor Tudor and Roberto De Zerbi. James Maddison been speaking on Sky Sports, and he has stated that Roberto De Zerbi has had a huge impact at Tottenham since arriving at the club. The midfielder said, since he's come in, he's been brilliant. Without him coming in, there is a serious possibility that we would have gone down. He switched the mindset, he switched the passion. The passion he shows every single day rubbed off on the players, and I think you could see that in the last few performances. Yes, maybe we could still be better in terms of quality in some of the moments we were producing, but the passion and the intensity just switched. I never questioned the group's mentality. I didn't see a group who weren't willing to try. It just needed Roberto to come in and fine tune it and get it out of some of the players. And he managed to do that. So big credit to him. Pape Matar and João Palhinha have been nominated for the Premier League's Creative Moment of the Month award, an award to celebrate magic moments from the last month of the Premier League action. Pape Matar and João Palhinha are both up for the award for two completely different pieces of brilliance. First up, João Palhinha is shortlisted for the prize for a tackle and skill that summed up the tenacious midfielder to a T. Coming in our 2-0 win over Aston Villa at the start of the month, the Portugal international slid into a challenge Ross Barkley on the edge of the area and then flicking the ball away from him with a slick set of touches, winning a free kick to relieve the pressure on our defence. Pape, meanwhile, is nominated for his stunning back heel that teed up Richarlison for our 2000th Premier League goal. Coming in our 2-1 defeat to Chelsea in our penultimate game of the season, the midfielder came off the bench to provide the assist for Richie as we trailed 2-0 at Stamford Bridge. With just under 10 minutes left in the West London, the Senegal international played in by Pedro Porro after the Spaniard had interchanged a neat 1-2 with Matthias Tel on the right. With his back to goal, the ball losing momentum, our 29 then crashed the ball backwards with his heel to the back post where Richie was waiting to pounce and convert. And finally, Italian journalist and transfer expert Fabrizio Romano has stated, Tottenham reached verbal agreement to sign Andy Robertson. Here we go, packed, expected to be respected and deal to be signed soon, despite Juventus' proposal to try to hijack the deal. Robertson wanted by Tottenham last January and again now with De Zerbi. It's happening. So, what do you make? What do you make of all of that? Matthias Tel. Let's talk about Matthias Tel initially. Now, I personally have a lot of time for Matthias Tel. I think the lad needs some time. He needs the confidence and he needs the support of the manager. And I think De Zerbi doing that has really brought that out of him. I think you can see that he has quality. I mean, his goal against Leeds was excellent. His running against Wolves was fantastic. Everyone thought the ball was going out. He ran past the defender, kept the ball in, played it off of him to get the decisive corner for João Palhinha to put in the back of the net. Anyone else just gave that up, even the defender. So he was absolutely focused on getting something out of that game, and I think that's real credit to him after some of the crap that he's had to been put through this season. The racial abuse at the beginning of the season, something that I never thought I'd see at Tottenham, but he's been through it, and Udogie, I think, got some, and also Kolo Muani. Kevin Danso, I think, was the other major one that we've seen. For me, totally unacceptable. I just cannot understand why anyone would do that. If someone makes a mistake and messes up, they mess up. It's not done on purpose. These are young guys doing their job, and sometimes people make mistakes. You can call out the mistake, but it makes no difference, their ethnicity, to them making a mistake. It's just stupid and wrong, and I've got no time for anyone who wants to do that sort of thing. So it just baffles me that in 2026 we're still arguing about something as ridiculous as that. So a bit disappointed in some fans, if indeed that is Tottenham fans. Could well be bots, could well be rival fans. It'd be interesting to see the details on that kind of stuff to work out who actually does that sort of thing, because I can't work it out for sure. Moving on to the relegation thing from set pieces. Well, yeah, absolutely. We did score a lot of goals coming from set pieces, from corners, but it's an area where we've really struggled. So I'm really happy to see that. And every goal counts. So to me, it makes no difference. I mean, Arsenal have just won the league based on their set pieces and their black arts, dark arts stuff in in the box. So I'm not going to apologise for Spurs getting the Premier League survival based on that. 19th would have been an absolute disaster. Can you imagine? Then talking about James Maddison, talking about De Zerbi, I think there's nothing we really didn't know about that. I think it's clear that it's clear. Listen, I have a theory. So to me, I think when you have someone like Ange Postecoglou, and you don't have to agree about Ange Postecoglou as a manager, but as a motivator, as a speaker, as someone who demands a level of respect and demands a level of effort, I don't think that can be doubted. You can tell by the way he left, the players were stunned. They were really supportive of him. They loved him. They wanted to do whatever they could for him and so on. You could see that in the fact when they got the trophy and he was standing at the side, letting the players have their moment. They're like, no, you're in this. Come on, we want you here. And I think it was clear that was the case. You then bring in Thomas Frank, who I have to say, for me, lost me at his press conferences. I found him boring. I found things he said baffling. That he didn't come across very well at all. So I'm thinking, in my mind, they've gone from that to that. I think he lost the dressing room. I think when things started going wrong, they couldn't get on board with the project or what he was trying to do. So then they bring in Igor Tudor, because they couldn't get De Zerbi, and he's a bit more of a disciplinarian and all that sort of stuff. And he come in and he was very negative. There's lots of things wrong with the club, lots to fix. It's worse than this and blah. Group. Not to say that they won't do very well somewhere else, but for this, I just didn't see it. And I think with De Zerbi coming in and behaving in the way he has, I think that's made all the difference. So, yeah, I think it's fair to say that Maddison has kind of picked up on all of that. The Pat Matasar and João Palhinha nominations, again, more nominations. We had nominations on the recent daily headlines as well for the saving and so we're getting like players nominated for all these different things, which are just individual stuff. I mean, do we really need to celebrate them? I'm not sure, but good luck to them. Fair play. Nice to have a little bit of recognition for them for what they did. It's nice for them, isn't it? And then finally, Fabrizio Romano talking about Andy Robertson. Again, this is one that seems to have kind of split opinion a little bit. I'm not sure what we really want. It seems to me that a lot of the issues we've been talking about have been because we've got young, inexperienced players that don't have any leadership qualities and so on. So we go out and we're looking at bringing in a Premier League proven, experienced leader who has won a lot. And some people are not happy about that. He's too old. He's not good enough. Listen, I think this is all about the breakdown. This isn't about having every single great player a band of Galacticos, if you like. Manchester City are not Galacticos. Arsenal are not Galacticos. Chelsea have tried to do that, buying up every player who's supposedly the next big thing and all the rest of it. It's not real work for them. So you need that balance. You need that mixture of the right sort of players, and you also need that depth of squad. You can put out the best 11, but if it's not working for whatever reason, then you need to be able to change it with something a little bit different, with a little bit of experience. And I think getting that balance right is what they're aiming to do. And I think there's been a lot of talk about it. We've had lots and lots of information coming out from Peter Charrington, Vinay Venkatesham, the Lewis family, Roberto De Zerbi. They've all been bombarding us with thoughts, end of season thoughts, and all the rest of it. So let's see where it goes, and we'll kind of, we'll take it from there. But I say, for me, I think it's a no-brainer. I think, coming in as a free agent with all that experience, to me, just makes sense. So yeah, it's a yes from me. Put it that way. So thanks for watching and listening. I hope you enjoyed it. If you are watching on YouTube, please like, comment, and subscribe. If you're listening on the audio platform, please follow and leave a review if you can. I'm Leader Dorset Spur. I have my own channel, slowly making moves, regular content every day. Certainly through the summer, we'll be talking about transfer news and rumours and all that kind of good stuff, and then doing reviews and so on, pre and post match. Once the season gets started, so please come over there and give me a sub. Be great to have you along. So all that's left to say is I'll see you on the next one, and as always, up the Spurs.